Welcome to episode 15 of Meet the GIMP. My name is Rolf Steinort and I'm recording this in Bremen, northern Germany. As you perhaps know, there's still the, let's say, competition running with triptychs. And you see here in the meetthegimp.org photo group at 23 that there are quite a lot of images that have come in, and I'm blown away by the overall quality of the images. You can still post your images. Look at episode, I think 13 it was, and make a triptych and post it to this photo group here. There's even a prize. I'll pull one image by random and give the author code number for getting 1 year of plus service at 23. That's my image hoster. I have left Flickr more or less. I'm still there for sending a comment or so, but I'm not posting photos anymore there because they think they should protect me from viewing some images. Okay, let's look at two images here. They are from Ruth, my first viewer and critic, and the person who nagged me lastly into doing this for real. And she tends for the iTunes directory. Oh, by the way, if you're on iTunes, just go over there and write a review or so. I can't look at that. I get from time to time a screenshot from Ruth, and I think there can be a little bit more life there. It's iTunes is the most important portal for getting podcasts, I think, and a good review there gives me more exposure. And looking at the download numbers and the subscriber numbers is a nice thing for me. So this is an image from Ruth, a cow with these famous yellow ear tags. I never thought they would be the same in the US. Or are these perhaps these are Irish cows? I don't know. And she used this liquid rescale algorithm to get these ear marks away. And it worked. Well, the ears are a bit funny now, but mostly it worked. See here, the ear, and here, it's gone. I was shown a different plugin for the GIMP, the resynthesis plugin, which is made for doing exactly such things, for filling gaps in pictures. And I'll try that out, cover that somewhere in the future. There is still something to tell for this liquid rescaling stuff. And let's look at the comments. Oh, here's something wrong with my website. I'm just fiddling around with it a bit and perhaps made it not that good. Okay, liquid rescale, I said there is no chance for it on OS X and Mac, but there wasn't an executable around for it, and Julian found out that you can compile it there, and it works perfectly. I can't help you with compiling on the Mac or so. You have to look into the web to find more information. And GS wrote that the third release, I told you that the plugin and the third release of the GIMP, the third release candidate, were a bit tricky, and two people here, Philip and GS, wrote that they had no problem with it. So just give it a try. The log on my website tells me from where you were referred to my web pages. And some days ago I found the first entry of Red Hat magazine, and there is a nice tutorial about going from this image here to this here, and it covers a lot of stuff. You see it here, levels and the curves dialog, and here something I haven't covered up to now, how to select something with the quick mask and so on. But the real nice thing was this here from Jimmy, and he just posted here a comment that people could check out my podcast here. This single comment brought about 100 people to Meet the GIMP. If you see a place where you can put a link to Meet the GIMP without spamming, please, just where it's appropriate, like here in a comment for a tutorial, or like in Flickr, if you have done an image which is based on a tutorial by me, please just drop a line and refer the people to Meet the GIMP. I promised you a black and white conversion or monochrome conversion video for this week. I have tried to do one, and I found that the quality wasn't good enough, and so I have to fill in with a bit out of my current photographic work, and I want to post-process this image here. It's again made again. I think I've shown you an image here with a lens baby, but this is done with a lens baby, a special lens which has a very small area of focus and a lot of very nice looking out of focus stuff. I'll show you a link to the lens baby in the show notes. And I like this shot. It is the JPEG, unprocessed out of the camera. I would think I should do a square crop somewhere around here, and then taking this here in. Perhaps get lost a bit of this stuff here, but definitely this here has to go out of the image. But there's one flaw, and that is this here. These highlights are blown out. I looked at the histogram on the side, but I didn't notice that I had these blown out highlights there. But as I told you, I'm at the moment shooting RAW and JPEG simultaneously. And here I will fix this image with a bit out of the RAW image. So let's do the stuff. First, conversion from RAW into a TIFF file, and then combining this image here with the RAW image. Why I'm not using the RAW converter for the whole image? This here is so good and so well what I wanted. It would be very difficult to do this work again. And I'm a lazy person, and I'm not doing any work extra. I have started UF-RAW and selected this image I shot on Saturday, and I'm just opening it. And here it is, and it is way out of anything I expected. So let's look for the mistake. And I let UF-RAW keep the values of the last shot, and I had to overexpose the last shot in a lot. And so I'm resetting this exposure to the default. It looks better, very much better. Then let me check here the curves. This is okay. This is has also to be reset to the standard. And this, the black point, also. And now you see an image which resembles the one I have here, but you see the color tint is quite different. And so let me get this smaller here so that you can compare it a bit better. And so I go to the white balance page and set white balance to camera white balance. Well, that's better. It's the same tonal range, but look at these colors here. I don't like that. It's too much color. It's Bonbonfarben, as we say here in Germany. It's really artificial. So, but I want to use only this part of the image. So I go down with the exposure until I lose this marks here for overexposure. Let's see. We have no overexposed parts of the image. There is underexposure, but not in the area I'm interested in. Can show you that here. All the stuff that's white now is underexposed in at least one channel. One channel, red, green or blue, is 0. Okay. I think I'll go down a bit with, I could go down a bit with the saturation, but I'll leave it at that and do the rest in the GIMP. Now the last thing I have to do is to save as, and I want to save this as, let me first change into the right directory. I want to save that as a TIFF file. That's right here, 8-bit TIFF file, and the folders. So now I have a room on my screen. Click on save, and as you perhaps know, your fraud program has no goodbye sign for having a successful finish. It just quits. So here is my original image, and let us look at the TIFF file here. You see it's much darker and has a bit more saturation, but this part of the image where the original is blown out has structure in it. And now I'll try to combine these two images in a convincing way in the GIMP. The tip of the day of today hits the nail on the spot. You can drag and drop many things in GIMP. For example, dragging a color from the toolbox or from a color palette and dropping it into an image will fill the current selection with that color. Okay, I don't want to fill a color or so, but I want to open an image, and I just pull it out of my window, out of my file manager, onto the toolbox, and it is opened. And now I want to add a second. I'm coming here in difficulties with my screen space here. I want to open this TIFF file here as a layer in this image. It's easy. I just pull it over and drop it over there. So I'm pulling this over the edge and onto the image, and it is opened as a layer. When I switch to the layer palette, you see it here. It's a background image, and this here is from RAW. Okay. The first thing I have to do when combining two shots, especially if one is right out of the camera and the other one is out of the RAW converter, the first thing I have to do is to look if they register, to look if each pixel is above the other. There are some differences, 1 or 2 pixels between the RAW images and the JPEGs. So let's go to 100%. Here is 100%, and go to a structure where there is not this nice out of focus stuff, but something with a bit definition. That's here. Now I'm going down with the opacity of the top layer, and I'm checking if the stuff registers. And you see it moves a bit to the left. Okay, let me zoom in to it here. Really hard. Do it here. Look here. One pixel, I think. So I click on the Move tool, click into the image, and look that I don't move the mouse while clicking. And now I'm just pressing on my left arrow key. And you see the image has shifted for 1 pixel. And now you see it registers. It's the same image top and down. And before I'm putting more work into it, I'll save this image here as Save As, and I'll save it with the extension of XCF, that is the GIMP's native format for saving images, and it preserves all the color information and all the levels and layers and so on. If you have followed Meet the GIMP for some time, you'll guess what I'll do next. I'll use a layer mask. And first let me zoom into this part of the image where I want to work. You see here, now this isn't blown out really here. It is very bright, and that's okay with me. But in the JPEG here, there is all the structure gone in this part here of the image. So I'm adding let me here change that again from RAW. I think I forgot to press return, and I'll add a layer mask here, and my layer mask is black. Black hides the content of the image, and white reveals it. I add it, you see the stuff is gone. And now I take a brush, take a big brush. See, it's not that big, but I scale it up. Okay. And I go down with the opacity of my brush to, let's say, 25%. And I select white for painting. And I select the layer mask for painting on. I'm not painting on the image now, but only on the layer mask. And let's switch to white. By pressing X, I'm exchanging black and white. You see it here. And now let me start to paint a bit on this here. Looks better, doesn't it? Bit here, the color isn't quite spot on, but I'll tend to that later. I think this is okay. And you see here on the layer mask there is a black field with a little bit of white in it. Let me show you it. Show layer mask. Here is the painting I have done. And to get it a bit better, let me put just a bit of blur into it. And I think, oops, there it is. Let's say about this here. Okay, back to switching off, show layer mask, and here we are. The next thing to do is to change the color of the top level a bit. And therefore I select this tool here, Hue, Saturation and Lightness Adjustment. I click into the image and get this dialog here. And here is the hue of the image, and that's I think I have to talk sometime about color models, but this is the shift through the rainbow, through all colors, and by changing the hue you can change the colors a bit, and or very harshly. Here, just look at the colors on the top here. I can assign each color a different color. You see, this was red, this is now red, and all the colors have changed their places here. Click. And I want to go a bit to the left side, and just to get this yellow a bit more reddish. And well, it is coming into the area where I want to have it. I think this is okay. It's not too red. Let me go back a bit. A tip I got from John Arnold, which is very good, is to overdo it. Just overdo it, and then this is definitely too much. Overdo it and go back from there. Still too much. And now let's do this stepwise. Still too much. This is nearing the goal, and I think this is right. 18. So you see here the colors have changed a little bit, but not much. The lightness and saturation is, I think, okay. Perhaps I can go down a bit with the saturation. Perhaps that looks better. Not really, I think. And going up. Going up. That looks fine. This is too much. This is okay. So now I click on OK, and here you see these leaves here with this part patched in, and if you don't know that this is patched in, you won't notice it. What is left to be done? First, let me look at the image in its full glory here. Sorry, I have to click into the image beforehand. Shift Control E gives me the whole image. And now you see this isn't noticeable. It's perhaps it could be a bit lighter still here. I can change that easily here by adjusting the opacity slider. You see here, it gets lighter and lighter. This was the original, and now I can tune in the effect as much as I want. The next step is cropping. Wait a minute. In some episodes I told to go the following way. First, to rotate. This is there is no indication here for need of rotating, and then crop, and then do all the rest with the finished image. Why now first this stuff here with this mini HDR saving of the blown out highlights? It's easy. You remember the part about registering these two images, and if I had cropped it, I would have had the need to crop both images, the background layer, the JPEG, and the TIFF in the same way, and not only roughly the same way, but every pixel the same. And so I have just overlaid them, and now I'm cropping them to the crop I want. Okay, I choose the crop tool, and I think I want to crop it in a square. Select fixed aspect ratio, and the last thing I did was a square, and so it is still here. I want rule of thirds guides, and now I'm just deciding where to start. I want to start somewhere here in this trunk, and to get rid of this stuff here. So let's start here. Pull this over. So this could be one crop, or I can pull this over a bit here to the left and include these leaves here and put it only a bit on the right side of the dark stuff. Now I have to decide if I want to include this part here, this bright part, and I think I'll throw that out. Going up to here, and now this is my crop. No, here is something missing. Going back a bit, this is my crop. I'll see about this later on. And click, and we are done. So saving the image again, and now I'm going out for a walk, and we'll be back for you later. I'm back, and now I want to finish this image here. First, there's a bit of housekeeping to be done. I want to reduce the image size, and I don't need all the stuff from the top layer except this here. So I choose the crop tool here, still chosen, and say current layer only. I unclick this here, and I start here and go down to here. I think this covers everything that I have changed. Click into it, and now I have this layer sitting here in the image, and it is shrunken in its size, in the data size, because all these pixels here are quite useless, and now I only have this here. And to get rid of this frame, I go to View and say Show Layer Boundary and unselect that. What is left to be done? I am content with the crop and with the composition, but this part, it nags me a bit, and so I go to the background layer, and let me double it before I make some serious errors. And now I zoom up to 100% by pressing 1. Sorry, first I have to click here. So, and now I go up to here. Yes, this bright stuff here, that I don't like that. Let's go back to the full image. Yes, this leaf here is okay, but this is somewhat distracting. Let's try to clone that out. Back to 100% and going up here. And now I select the clone tool. I have already here my brush, the big fuzzy brush, and I select a really big brush that is big enough to go down there in one stroke. Okay, and now I select this here as my starting point by clicking Control, by holding down the Control key and clicking with my left mouse button. I go up to here and just paint down. Okay. This is not very good, but now I'm selecting the lasso tool here. Oh, let's go down a bit with the resolution, with the zoom. So I'm selecting this area here with my lasso tool, and I'm invoking filters, reshow Gaussian blur, I can increase the value of the blur a bit. Let's just try this. What has happened there? Let me zoom into this. Can be an artifact on the. It was an artifact on the screen. Okay. Well, that's a lot better. And I think the image is finished. Now this is a bit too dark. I'll clone that out too. So zoom into it. Again selecting the clone tool. Again selecting here. Let's go here to here. Control click and click. By just repeating my clicks, I don't change the point from where I clone, and so this looks a bit better. Well, okay, that is good enough. Shift Control E to get the whole image, and I think this was it. Now save it. And I want to have an image for uploading at 23, and I want to have that ready for display at Tips from the Top Floor in the forum, and for that I need a different image size. So I'm going to Image, Scale Image, and I'm scaling down this to 700 pixel. I thought I had a square image. I just wanted to resize this image and found out that my crop went wrong. I wanted to crop for a square, and now if you look here, I'm at 2537 width and 2515 height. So I have to get rid of 15 and 7, 22 pixels on the sides. For that I use again the crop tool. Go here, look that current layer only is not selected, and I just pull open the little crop window. I want to start in the top left corner, so I set in here 0 and 0. I want the width at 2515, and I want the height at 2515. So that's done, and now I just click enter to have my crop, or I just click into the image and have my crop. So now it's 2515 by 2515, again saving the image. While doing the crop, I must have compressed it somehow. Perhaps if you ever look at the video again, you find the mistake. Now, resizing. I want to have an image for the web, and for that I have to resize this scale image, and the tips from the top floor forum has a size limit of 700 pixels height. So I go to 700 pixels and rescale the image. Okay. Now I have to decide if I want to sharpen the image a bit. Let me look at 100%. A little bit in the middle of sharpening could be right. So first I am flatten the image, putting all into one layer together, and now I'll select the sharpening tool, filters, enhance, and sharpen, going to the middle and getting a bit of sharpening. Oh no, I shouldn't do that this way. I'm again doubling the layer, and now I'm selecting with the circle here, circle select tool. Let's go a bit down with the zoom. I'm selecting with the circle the center. I say feather my edges by, let's say 30, and now I'm just selecting here this center area. And now I'm going to filters, enhance, sharpen, and go to a sharpness value of, let's say about 30. Looks quite good. And now the sharpening has been only applied to this area of the image. Now I deselect this selection with Shift, Control and A, and go to 100%, view again with 1. And let me have a look around here. The sharpened part looks well, and the unsharp part here, out of focus part, is also not sharpened. Now the only thing that is left is to save this thing as a copy, and save it as a copy as a JPEG image. And now I have to look out that I don't use the same name as my original file here. So number 1 JPEG. Okay, export it, 85%, very well, and now I'm done with this image here. I saved this image for the web as a copy, and so I can ignore the warning that will come now here, unsaved changes. Okay, I'll leave that alone and say discard changes. All the changes that I have made were after I saved the last time the XCF image. So discard them and they are gone. That's it for this week. You can find all the files at the website meetthegimp.org. There's a link to the file server. And you can subscribe on that page, meetthegimp.org. Leave a comment with the comment system of WordPress there, or write me an email at info@meetthegimp.org. I'm very happy about comments and suggestions how to make this better. Okay, I just can say goodbye up to next week.
Photocastnetwork.com, your photography resource in the potosphere. Photocastnetwork.com